So we've had a stellium in Pisces. I just realized this. It started in end of February or March. Well, right now we have Mars in Pisces, we have Saturn in Pisces. The moon is in its balsamic phase right now in Pisces, and then of course the new moon in Aries, solar eclipse, right? And then Neptune, which is thankfully almost out of Pisces by 2026, but it's still there right now, of course. So yeah, that's a lot of planets in the sign of Pisces. So wherever you have Pisces, if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And it's either bringing up a lot of emotions for you that have been really getting you to reflect on a lot of stuff. For example, me, it's been doing that a lot. I have Pisces in my 8th house, Leo rising, of course. So yeah, that has brought up a lot of deep-rooted topics to the surface for me. Mars being there is not comfortable. Definitely not in Pisces. Even though Mars does like to be in the 8th house, but not necessarily in Pisces. So, but yeah, just look where Pisces is. If you have it in your 1st house, this could really be, this would also be chaotic for you too, because it's in your persona, right? And then 2nd house, it could probably bring up issues with like water and plumbing. You could have like a flood in your house or some kind of leak. 3rd house, it could be like third house to be trouble communicating. Like you kind of feel like you can't really speak, but then at the same time Mars is like, because Saturn and Pisces being in the 3rd house would prevent you or restrict your speech, but then Mars is like, but no, I want to speak. That could be really challenging. 4th house, that could bring up a lot of uncomfortable topics about like your home life. It could disrupt the home in a way, and you need to kind of hash things out more and be more realistic in certain areas within the home base. 5th house, it could, well, 5th house is like a playful house, so I don't know why that would be a bad thing for the 5th house. If anything, it could still cause some complications and confusion since Neptune's still there, but with Saturn there, it still keeps you disciplined, and Mars will probably just spice it up a little bit more. I mean, you'll still be disciplined, but you'll probably be a little more lenient and open. 6th house, it could bring up stuff like your health, obviously, and paying attention more to that. Being of service, so, but making sure to serve the right people, because Pisces there can sometimes be over-serving. So 7th house, relationships with others. 8th house, which is about traumas, karmas, the shadow, and also transformation. So actually, no, so if anything, that could bring more transformative energies to help aid you, because Saturn's there. So Saturn and Pisces would actually help 8th house Pisces to be more disciplined in certain areas. And then Mars being there could aid in that. So I guess it's not really that bad to be there. But regardless, it's not easy, right? Especially be easier once the Neptune gets out of there, though. Speaking in regards to me, of course. 9th house, Pisces would be, well, you might be more inclined to want to embrace like education, right? You want to learn more, get more spiritual, traveling a lot, maybe. You want to travel more. But then with that Saturn there, it might be a little bit of like a, I don't know, that could kind of come into, it might block you a little bit but then again, maybe not. 10th house. 10th house. That should help in the 10th house. If you got Mars there, that's going to help you with your career, your then Saturn, of course, helps with discipline. Maybe pick areas that have imagination, creativity in there. That might be of best success to you, especially before Neptune goes into Aries. And 11th house. 11th house, that could really, it could be difficult with your friendship circles. Some people might be not who they seem because Neptune's there. You might find out about some people just being not really authentic. And with Mars there, you might be feeling it a lot. And it's kind of, and Saturn too. Saturn there is making you realize, oh my gosh, these people didn't have my back type of thing. Could be. 12th house. 12th house Pisces, my gosh. That could have you, and that would be for the Aries rising people, of course, but how could that manifest? Because Neptune being there actually makes it more hidden than it already is. The 12th house is already hidden from you, and with Neptune there, it's like a double whammy. So you might feel that stir and change, because if this is, having Pisces in the 12th house would mean you're an Aries rising, so that means that it's going in line and helping to with this process of the North Node, because that stellium is responsible for helping to trigger this change in you of your identity, of things that, I mean, the roots are the things that transform the way you feel about yourself, your identity. So that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we have a lot of stuff in Aries. Sun in Aries, North Node in Aries. We got, what's this one? We have Chiron in Aries. Yep. Mercury retrograde in Aries. Yeah, so we still got a lot of Aries there. Part of fortune is in Aquarius, though, even though Pluto is in Aquarius at almost 2 degrees. But I think that part of fortune kind of helps a little bit. Vertex in Libra. Lilith and Virgo right now. So if anyone has Lilith and Virgo, then this could trigger a Lilith energy within you. But yeah, Mercury retrograde in Aries. What are retrogrades? Retrogrades force us to reflect on things, force us to look at things, but in an Aries way, which means head first and not looking at consequences. So just be very careful as to what you say. There might not be any coming back. Especially with the Mercury retrograde in Aries. So, yeah. So I wanted to see something else. This Jupiter here. Yeah. Jupiter conjunct Uranus. Yeah, this conjunction gives optimism. It gives great ambitions and desires to come to fruition. However, the problem is that it's not easy to turn these ambitions into reality. Um, it gives way to more adventurous activities and outcomes, often also expansive, but there's still an importance to working hard and putting forth effort, because this will only come after really pushing far enough. That's what it says here for Jupiter conjunction Uranus in Taurus, of course. Um, let's see. I wanted to look at some other aspects here, but the sensitive degrees are, yeah, the sensitive degrees is Venus in Aries, which Venus is in Aries right now. So Venus does not like being in Aries. But it's not debilitated in Aries. It's just not comfortable in Aries, because Aries is like the Mars, right? So when you put Venus in Aries, that's basically the combination of Aphrodite and the god of Aries, god of war, and they had like an affair together, right, in Greek mythology. So that's opposing. That's an opposing energy together. What else? Yeah, there's there's some interesting stuff. I'm gonna keep up to date with this, but yeah, that's. Oh, I wanted to read the Lilith and Virgo placement, because I don't really know much about that. Rebellion against order, provocative humor. Their sensuality is strongly suppressed by trying to appear calm. Emotional conflicts often occur because it is very difficult for these people to feel relaxed. They want to suppress their instincts, or they appear to be cold and perverted. Beware of alcoholism and surgery of the intestines. That's what Lilith and Virgo means. So, or that's what it says in here. So if you have a Lilith and Virgo, maybe check that out. That could be a possible thing to kind of keep in mind. I always say, even if it never happens, it's always good to just know, right? It's always good to be aware of things. Lilith is a fictional point. It's the black moon, second empty focal point of the elliptical orbit of the moon around the earth. In mythology, Lilith refused to submit to Adam, rebelled against the connection between Adam and Eve, decided to escape from the world of people, and made a connection with Satan. In astrology, Lilith symbolizes either fascination or refusal of topics with which she is connected with. Both the fascination or the rejection of the given topics can eventually engulf the person and take him or her away from the human world. Oof. That's scary. All right. Ooh, while we're at it, why don't we just go look at all the other asteroids? Well, just one, actually, just Chiron, because Lilith is just the moon. Okay. Chiron in Aries, since it's in Aries right now. These people may be traumatized by the fact that despite all their efforts, they are not successful because they are not very proactive and assertive. They lack the appropriate dose of healthy aggression that is needed in a competitive society in order to survive competition with those who are too harsh and ruthless. They usually compensate for this by exaggerated activity, but the results never correspond with the effort they put in. Interesting. Now, it also depends on where it is in your chart. That doesn't mean that everyone with a Chiron in Aries is going to manifest that way, okay? So just look at it where it is in your chart if you have Chiron in Aries. Chiron is an asteroid between Saturn and Uranus. Its orbit is very unusual and represents a bridge between material and spiritual worlds. According to mythology, Chiron was a great healer, a wise teacher, and one of the immortal centaurs. Unfortunately, he was deadly injured by a poisonous arrow by Hercules, his favorite disciple. He was suffering in great pain, but he could not die. Finally, he gave up his immortality for the benefit of Prometheus, who was also suffering. And Chiron was sent to the underworld. In the underworld, Zeus had mercy for him, and he raised him to the heavens. So, in astrology, Chiron symbolizes the unhealable injuries within us and heal wounds, incurable traumas. So instead of drowning his own trauma, he's able to accept the trauma. That's the point of Chiron, learning how to accept that it's there, knowing and accepting that, okay, I'm probably not going to get over this ever fully, but I accept that it's there and it's something I have to work through somehow and deal with, right? In a healthy way without it just weighing me down. That's kind of what it is. So, all right, that was kind of cool, right? I liked it. We can just continue to learn together about astrology. All right.